For this project, you'll need white paint, a plastic fork, a black marker, a bowl for your paint, blue piece of construction paper, a lighter blue or gray piece of construction paper, and white paper. You will also need glue and scissors for this project. Beginning with taking my white paint and my bowl, I'm going to put some paint inside the bowl. Just enough to place your fork directly inside the paint. Grabbing my plastic fork, I'm going to dip it, pick it up, and place it towards the middle of the paper. And keep moving it around and around. Nothing about this project is going to be perfect. It's really just about the effort you're going to try to make a circle around it. Using your fork. As I mentioned earlier, nothing about this is going to be perfect, and it doesn't even have to be a full circle. It's really just about forming the head of the polar bear. As I'm tapping my fork, I'm starting to form the head of the polar bear. Remember, it doesn't have to be a complete circle, but you want to have an end point so it looks like he has a full face. Is your polar bear a girl or a boy? You might want to do some scraping with your fork to add more texture. Makes it look like the polar bear has more hair. Not worrying too much about the center part of the face because that's where the nose goes. I'm kind of just globbing it down. I'm almost done. He's a little off-centered, but that's okay. Doing more of the scraping technique to make his hair look nice on the bottom. gonna let this dry for a few minutes. While we're waiting for this to dry, I'm going to put it to the side and grab my white and blue or gray construction paper. Taking my white paper, I'm going to draw the ears for the bear. Taking my paper, I'm going to draw the ears. The bigger they are, the more fun they are. The more 3D your bear will look. It should be a semicircle and then a line. Let's try again. Up, around, down, line. It's okay if they're not perfectly the same size. Now I'm going to, oh crap, we need scissors. Wait, you're on a roll this morning, the fudge. Every season. Now, taking my blue paper, I'm going to draw the inner ears and the nose. The inner ears should be smaller semicircles, but the same shape of these. One, two. And now the nose is just a big oval. Since we're here, we can draw the inner parts of the nose, drawing just a black circle and filling it in. So it looks like that. Drawing a line down and around, I'm making his lips on both sides. Now, taking a pair of scissors, I'm going to cut out all of my pieces. Turning my paper to make the cuts. Here's the nose. Just following my lines I made, I'm making the cuts. One part of the inner ear. The second part of the inner ear is what I'm cutting now. Putting my scraps to the side, I'm going to grab my white paper and cut these. One. Two. As we continue to wait for this to dry, I'm going to take my two inner ears and glue them in my other ears. Opening my glue, twisting it, I'm going to take this ear and put a dollop of glue on it. Make sure I get the whole thing covered, but not too much. Taking my ear, I'm going to place it right there and tap it down to hold in place. Let's do the same for the other ear. Turning it around, I'm gonna put some glue on it, covering it all, but not too much. I'm gonna flip it over and glue it right on there, tapping it down. Now that it's finished drying, we're gonna finish our polar bear. Taking our glue, we're going to glue his ears to the top of his head. You want them to be on the paper, but above the paper too, to make it more 3D and lifelike. Gonna glue the other ear down now. Just like this. Now, taking the piece that I made for his mouth and nose, I'm gonna glue that down right about here. Making sure I put enough glue on so it sticks. Taking my marker, I'm going to draw 2 eyeballs above the nose and under the ears. Just like this. Making sure I color them in.